Let's talk about robots. You've already stated that you're working on a robot vacuum cleaner, and you've said that you won't launch it until you can get the navigation and the suction nailed. Given that we've already seen robot vacuum cleaners on the market for about 5 years now, are you worried about being seen to be behind the game?
We're still doing it. Oh yeah. Evolving it. We've been evolving it over the last 15 years. We're getting there. It's a difficult problem because you've got to be able to, it's actually quite a complex problem to navigate a room, any room, in any situation. So yeah, no, we've been developing robots for 15 years. And we'll produce a robot. But I promise you, when we do produce a robot, it'll work properly.
In an age where everything is connected, you know, we've got these smart widgets on our TVs and so on, do you ever see Dyson thinking about a smartphone app that alerts you when your robot vacuum cleaner has finished its cycle?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's possible now. But I think to help that, people have probably got to, you know, install things in their proper Wi-Fi in their homes, so that kind of thing can become possible.
Yes, it's a huge challenge, particularly in rural areas.
And vacuum cleaners that tell you when you need to clean, because you can't see dirt.
No.
Well, it's a pretty crowded field, but if we had a technology that was interesting, yes, we would. But it's not a business decision. You know, everybody's paying lots of money for phones, and they're all very glamorous, and everybody loves them. But we would only go into it if we had an interesting bit of technology that made it work better. You know, Steve Jobs was great at making products that were a pleasure to use. He really looked at it from the point of view of the person who used it. Whereas, you know, no one else in the computer industry was doing that.
You're obviously not keen on these so-called Chinese copycat companies, but do you think there's actually any room left for true innovation and ingenuity? We're not in danger of plateauing, are we?
Well, I think we're in danger from Chinese copycat companies if we don't stop them, which means that the law must stop them. And we lost a case recently against a company called Vax, who I think everybody agrees had clearly copied our product. But the British judges seemed determined to show that there were a few differences. But the fact was they copied it, and it looks exactly the same. It doesn't work the same, but it looks the same. And a French court found that they copied it, and yet a British court doesn't. So I think the British judiciary must support intellectual property. And if it doesn't, these, you know, we will be flooded by these copycats, and it'll destroy our industry. I mean, why do you invent something and spend all that money patenting it and launching it and creating the desire for it, to find Chinese companies just nipping in and doing it much more cheaply and taking your market away from it? That's why the protection of intellectual property is so important. And we mustn't be nitpicky about it like these British judges were in this case. We've got to say this company clearly copied it, so we must uphold the design pattern.
You're a man who doesn't wish to give advice because you don't believe that it should be taken, but we've got many younger readers on Gizmodo who would love to receive some takeaway wisdom to stick in the backs of their minds for their future. What could you give them?
Well, I think if you're interested in doing something different, in creating a revolution, you mustn't listen to people. Or sorry, you must listen to people, but don't take too much notice of their advice and what they say. Because if you're trying to do something different and create a little revolution, you're going to have to go against people's advice.
Yes.
So, you know, if you have an idea and really believe in it, then just follow it. And don't be put off by anybody, whether it's a bank manager, a friend, someone who's wise. Just, you know, follow it.